first graders. Today for phonics, we are going to learn something new, and I'm going to teach you how to learn something new. And that seems kind of weird when we're first graders, how to learn something new. But one of the things that we can do is study the work of experts, and then we can try to do what the experts do. All right, so I want you to think about that. We're going to study the work of experts and try to do what the experts do. So this morning, we've been talking a lot about bloopers lately and learning from our mistakes. And the teachers got a letter from Mr. Bogart, and it's kind of an embarrassing letter that I need to learn from, and the other teachers have to learn from. But I'm trying to use it to show you some different things about capital letters is what we're going to talk about today. All right, so I'm going to show you. I'll read you the note that he wrote first. It says, "Dear teachers, the teacher's lounge was a mess last night. Alan had to wash your coffee cups, and he shouldn't need to do that. One had mold growing in it. Please clean up. Thanks, Mr. Bogart. P.S. Also, I noticed there was half of a moldy cake in the refrigerator and other gross things. I think the cake has been there since Mrs. Wagner's birthday in October." Oh my birthday was in October. I didn't know that there was a cake in there. Gross. So if I am looking, I'm going to change my chart here. I want us to look really closely today for capital letters and how to use those. And if we use Mr. Bogart's letter, I'm going to highlight some capital letters. So I am noticing capital letters here at the beginning. Dear teachers, the beginning of his letter. And I notice it here at the end of his letter and his name. We know that names get capital letters. No, I just heard somebody say the beginning of a sentence. Oh, here's one. Alan, beginning of a sentence, but that's also a what? Alan is a name. Okay. Here's a beginning of a sentence. I see a period. So now I have to use a capital letter. All right, period, capital letter. And there's our punctuation, which is an exclamation point. And there's our capital letter, that ending of the letter and his name. Then he used a PS, which stands for postscript. After his letter is done, he thought of something else. And here's the first letter, so A gets capitalized. Oh, what are you noticing about the I? When an I stands alone, when we're talking about ourselves, that is capital because instead of our name, it's I, and that is capital. Oh, here is another I, and it's the capital start of a sentence. Has been in there since, Mrs. Wagner's. Those are capital because they're my name. Birthday in October. Why is that capitalized? It's the name of a month, a date. Right, good job. So what I did is I took this information and I started a chart for us back here. So let's take a look if we did it right. Capital letters. Start of sentences. We did that. Start of a name of a person or place. We did that. Mr. Bogart, Mrs. Wagner. Those are names. Alan. Good. Start and end of a letter. Well, we did that too. Here is the dear teachers. That's capitalized. And the thanks from Mr. Bogart, the end of the letter. Good. The word I. And let's see, they were down here. First graders, the word I. So if I say I'm, or I'll, or I have, and I'm using a contraction, that I still has to stay capital because it's talking about me, the I there, okay? And our last one that I have written down for today, start of dates. And we did that for October, or if it was a day of the week, a date, a month, those all have to be capitalized. You know a lot of those things. So in your writing and reading today, I want you to really think about those as you do it and think, oh, is this when I use a capital? Do we get to use a capital letter in the middle of a word? No. Do we get to use a capital letter in the middle of a sentence if it's not the name of a person or a place or a date? No. And you have to be very careful that you really, really, really think hard about what our letters look like so that you can do them the right way. Okay? So I want you in your reading today, maybe take out one book and I want you to study and point to every capital letter that you find. Stop and think, is it capital because it's a name? Is it capital because it's the first letter of a sentence? Is it a capital because they were writing a letter? Is it capital because it's the word I? I want you to think, just choose one book, quickly go through that, find the capitals, say out loud to yourself or a stuffed animal or mom or dad, and just say, oh, this one is capital because it's the first letter of a name. This one is capital because it's the first letter of the sentence or the first word in the sentence. All right, so that is your job for phonics today. Enjoy. Happy capital letter hunting.